Nairobi, a city of 5 million people and growing, the economic powerhouse of East Africa. It's a place of blatant inequality and the friction that comes with that. But Nairobi isn't just its struggles. It's a cosmopolitan hub with all the perks you'd find in any major international city. It's a complex place and a beautiful one. Let's get to know the many faces of modern Nairobi. This is my first time in Kenya and my first time in the city in Nairobi. And my first impression and kind of a culture shock I'm having is just the stark contrast here between affluence and modern comforts and really abject poverty. So you have neighborhoods like this one where you have really high-end modern apartments and it's literally a 5-minute walk away from the slums. But overall, I'm really enjoying the city. It's really green and beautiful. There's a lot of young people here who are really politically engaged and they really care about the direction that the country is headed in. And it's just a really creative and dynamic place to be. And did I mention the gates? Most of the homes and businesses in Nairobi are protected by high, guarded walls. This is partially because of high crime rates, but also because of cultural factors like a sense of ownership and who is allowed to have access to you. Welcome to Nairobi, the city of gates. We're at Toi Market, one of the largest and most popular markets in all of Nairobi, and the specialty here is secondhand clothing, a lot of which is imported from the US and Western Europe, and here it's called mtumba, and it is a huge component of the Kenyan economy. Kenya is one of the largest importers of secondhand clothing in all of Africa, and it's estimated that 90+% of households in Kenya wear this secondhand clothing. Secondhand clothing discarded by the Western world creates countless jobs in Kenya, many in informal markets like this one. The government receives revenue from customs duties, and Kenyans, many of whom only make a few dollars a day, gain access to high-quality clothing at affordable prices. It's kind of interesting to wonder who these originally belonged to. Not bad. Vintage, we like it. It's like a solid treasure hunt in here. Joining us as our guide, Brenda Ambitho, founder of an animal rescue organization and shelter in Nairobi. She explains the ropes of shopping at Toi Market.
So when you are bargaining, you go at least 1,000 lower. Like, no, I don't have that for 5. So let's do it 3,000.
How about 4,000 cash? 4,000 is good price, huh?
Then by the time you are at the standard price, now you'll be paying something like 3,500.
How about 500? What do you think? So how about 600? 600?
No.
Okay, that's the art of the haggle. Okay, I see. We're gonna learn next time. And you can see the market is built actually on a dirt road. So it's not like an official infrastructure or anything. The vendors just set up where they could, on sidewalks, on roads, and then here they actually have like a rooftop over it. Here you have a huge amount of Crocs, so if you are in need of a pair, you can just come to Toi Market in Nairobi.
How are you?
Hello, I'm good.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Okay, so these are like full-on secondhand women's underwear.
Yeah.
There's so much secondhand underwear here, like stacks and stacks, and apparently the common jokes, according to Brenda, is that these are the underwear of dead people. But yeah, you'll not be lacking of undergarments. To critics, the availability of such cheap clothing hinders the growth of Kenya's domestic textile industry. But many Kenyans do not see it this way.
Yeah, we prefer mtumba to brand new clothes because first of all, mtumba clothes are are so Western. We only use the other clothes, the brand new clothes, when we are going for cultural occasions, like say weddings, a dowry, funerals. But for normal lifestyle, we prefer mtumba because also they're affordable and they're stylish.
And is it hard for Kenyan brands to get started because of the availability of all this affordable clothing?
Not really, because many people are opinionated to their styles. So you'll find that some people they prefer mtumba, some people they prefer the brand new clothes which are cultural. So I don't think if it will really affect the market.
So there's a world in which they just both coexist together, Kenyan brands and mtumba.
Yeah, exactly.
So the really cool thing about this market is that it crosses class lines. The rich shop here, the poor shop here, everyone shops here.
True.
I'm excited to get on my first Matatu. We're meeting our friend Brenda and she's gonna help us find the most extravagant one. This ain't your average daily commute. Matatus are Nairobi's biggest form of urban transport. Privately owned, unregulated buses with just a few frills. Strap on your seatbelt, watch your belongings, and gear up for a rowdy ride. What makes a good Matatu? What does it have on the inside and outside?
Number one, has to have art. Crazy, hella graffitis, hella pimped out graffitis. Then we did music, like very heavy music. Nganya has to have music, you know. Then you have to have like TVs, all these lights going around. Then you have to have a very responsible driver, obviously. Very responsible driver. And you know, just like crazy people around.
Meet Master Sugu, a Matatu that fits all the criteria.
Matatu, culture, Ganya.
All right, let's do this.
Yeah, but BY now. Nairobi mat, 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 Magzanai, Nairobi mat, Nairobi mat, Nairobi mat, Nairobi mat.
Very safe behavior on this Matatu road.
Nairobi mat, Nairobi mat, Magzanai. Welcome to Nairobi. We call it the city of mats. Ganya is what we call them. Matatu culture is a class. Simply a mat is a best. In Africa we've made a buzz. Just tweet or Google the word Matatu, you can be taken by surprise. Kigonyi Wamat is a driver, and Donda Wamat is a person who's taking the money. I swear we survivors. Affordable pay and it's easy the way that we journey. I'm talking of fireplace, comfortability in high class. We be cruising through the bypass, yeah we late never undermine us. Decorated with graffiti, Nazi graffiti on the outside. Mziki booming in the inside, to and fro to the east side. Lucky Summer, which side? Kasarani, Roysa, Dawn I'm going to Greenspan. Pipeline, then we inside Mombasa Road. Nairobi Mets, Nairobi Mets.
Alright, well that was an experience. That was a really cool first Matatu experience and it's a very Nairobi thing. Really cool.
I'm from France.
Kibera is one of the largest slums in East Africa. An estimated 250,000 to 1 million people live here, and it's a place where multiple truths coexist. Heartbreaking poverty alongside hope, joy, and resilience. During our visit, we got to see how entrepreneurial young people from Kibera are stepping up and uplifting their communities.
Before we came here, it was a bush.
Yeah.
It was a bush, and it was like a forest, and it was a hideout for thieves.
Whispers Champion Youth is a CBO uplifting young people from poverty through urban greening. In just 2 years, the organization has built a thriving urban farm and partnered with a New York-based nonprofit to provide a water source for the neighborhood.
We started from scratch. We did everything ourselves.
We sat down with Whispers Champion Youth founder Wilson Miugo to learn more about his work.
We have a few projects, different projects that we work on. So the main project, as you can see, is farming, urban farming. And we have a market day where, like as right now, I'm coming from the market. We had just taken our products to the market. The next project we have is garbage collection. We do garbage collection where we pick garbage from the households to prevent them from littering in the river. We plant trees from seeds, and we sell them to our community. Some we donate, and we plant along the river and in the site. So sometimes we go outside to the community in dump sites. We reclaim the area and plant trees.
Well, you've done really amazing. It looks amazing here. Boda, or motorcycle taxis, a ubiquitous form of transport in Nairobi. For locals, they are a cheap, though heart-pumping way to get around town. For us, they are the perfect way to see more of Kibera.
Habari gani? Mzuri sana. Wageni wakaribishwa. Kenya yetu hakuna matata. Makofi. Welcome them.
Asante.
Welcome.
Asante.
Ronaldinho.
42 Walakolo is a 200-person community living in Kibera. They are homeless and recycle garbage for a living, selling scavenged parts of value in order to survive.
I'm the chairman of 42 Walakolo. These are waste pickers. This is our base. This is our, we call it a holding site. Our home. That's our office. This is our home, our everything.
These people here have created their own jobs to survive here in Kibera. Before the city processes the garbage, they go through and sort it and recycle it and see what they can scavenge to make money. And then that's how they survive, and they live around here in houses around, and it's a really hard way to live. Oh. So on an average day, how much would you say you make recycling?
200,
200, 300?
In a good day, that's enough.
Yeah, so that's a good day.
Yeah. Health is our biggest challenge. Mm-hmm. We are doing a big job more than the county are doing.
Because of the environment, you need groundworks, gloves, aprons,
Yeah.
and sometimes doctors who can check this part of the area you are doing. We are dealing with not health.
Yeah.
You have mothers and kids.
Yeah.
They survive in the same place.
Many members of Walakolo were displaced by new development. The tin house settlement where they used to live was demolished by the government. Now, shiny new condos stand in place of their former neighborhood, and they were left with nothing and nowhere to go. This is Joseph, and we're going to go see where he lives.
Thank you. Welcome at home. This is my home. You're welcome.
So we have where I cook for the dogs. That is kolo. Now this is our, when we call ourselves wala kolo, this is the kolo.
The residents here make the best of their situation. They keep their community close-knit and even have an urban farm where they grow vegetables. But they face an uphill battle that makes it hard for them to get out of their situation.
So what keeps you going?
God.
God.
God. Just God.
It's a real testament to the community's resilience. You know, they have local organizers, no help from the government, and they're doing what they have to do. So if you want to support them, we're going to drop their Facebook group link in the description box, and you can go support them there. Hey.
The West Speakers. The West Speakers, Wanakolo.
What's a common misconception about Kibera?
People think that Kibera is just for the poor, and it's just full of informal settlements. And as we've walked around Kibera, we've seen actually there's a high rise there that is for middle class. Mm-hmm. You'd find someone driving a Range Rover in Kibera. You'd find someone with a 60-inch screen in Kibera, you know. You'd find someone who's very educated. It's just that there are no opportunities for these people to grow themselves in terms of finances and the economy.
What do you think is the biggest problem facing Kenya, if you could narrow it down to one singular thing?
Corruption.
So even if you're educated and do everything right by the book, you could still end up here?
You can have the highest level of education, you can have PhDs, but as long as you don't have a godfather, or you don't have someone you know, or you don't have the money to bribe your way to a job, just consider yourself unemployed. Just find yourself something to do. Yeah.
Matatu.
We're at our very first nightclub in Kenya, and I'm really excited because Kenyans have a reputation across Africa as being the biggest partiers. So we'll see if we can confirm or deny that tonight. And we're at a live show by a big Kenyan artist called Prince Indah, who seems to be very famous. He's from the Luo tribe in Kenya. So Kenya is rumored to be the #1 party country in Africa. Do you agree with this?
I completely agree with that. And me being one of the Kenyans, one of the Kenyan ladies who love to party, I can guarantee you that I will show you one of that today.
Hush on the beat.
Ahero nyako, nyamama sweet sana, nyathini kado. Ahero nyako, nyamama sweet sana, nyathini kado. Ahero nyako, nyamama sweet sana, nyathini kado. Ahero nyako, nyamama sweet sana, nyathini. Wemonda sungi, wemonda weri mama. You see, I'm in love. I know this life is still young. Kijijini tuna trend kama new bang. And I know that you don't like the attention, yeah. Napenda vile unakuanga shy. That's how I know that I'm your right guy. Now baby, you should know I got a weakness. You're my kryptonite, I'm your Superman. Now you're my super lady.
High-rise apartment complexes shooting up overnight, brand new expressways, shiny shopping malls. Chinese development is transforming Kenya and the rest of Africa. In Nairobi, neighborhoods like Kilimani are filled with billboards in Mandarin advertising Chinese-owned businesses. Nairobi Chinatown is located here, serving a customer base of Chinese workers. And you could be forgiven for thinking you've landed somewhere in a mid-sized Chinese city. Why is there such a strong Chinese presence in Nairobi?
There's been a Chinese government initiative for several years now called the Belt and Road Initiative, where they are going into formerly colonized countries and competing with US influence by investing heavily in infrastructure development.
Our friend Elliot Kulakau, a Kenyan resident, is a frequent visitor of Nairobi Chinatown. He's been coming to Kenya for 7 years, working with skilled Kenyans to build an infrastructure engineering firm.
Within Africa, Kenya is a major economy and is a major beneficiary of Chinese of this Chinese investment. Alongside of that, there's a lot of traders, there's a lot of construction workers, business people, and when they're away from their home for so long, they want some good food, place to hang out, and that's why Nairobi Chinatown is one of the best Chinatowns I've ever been to across the world, and the food is just spectacular.
Yeah, I will. On the menu today, Chinese classics, wonton soup, savory tofu pudding, and spicy lamb clay pot. So I really wasn't expecting such authentic Chinese food in Nairobi. That was really surprising. But this food actually feels like something that you'd find just walking on a random street in China and in a hole in the wall. How do Kenyans feel about the Chinese presence in their country?
Kenyans like Chinese money a lot, and they like the work that the Chinese do. But when it comes to personal interactions, you'll find that most Chinese, even living here, are pretty racist. And those guys all have, they've never met an African until they get here. They all have these preconceived notions that are definitely reinforced by a lot of historical Chinese culture as well as Chinese media.
我觉得是最好的。
你是做什么样的工作？
做汽车配件，做贸易。
那你在这里几年了？10年。10年。
4年。
哦哇。
2013年下半年来的。
所以习惯了。
也不算习惯吧。
We're at a restaurant called 3D, and we're going to show you some traditional Kenyan food. And in Africa, they eat with their hands, so you're going to see me getting some practice today with that. Squeaky clean. 3D serves classic Kenyan food. Today we are trying coconut tilapia, dry fried chicken, spinach cooked with coconut milk, and hearty carbohydrate staples, ugali and chapati.
Did she do it right?
Did I do it right?
She's doing it in a very nice way. In fact, she should not use the forks anymore. Just use the hands. Very nice. That is Kenyan eating. More Kenyans when we eat using our hands, we feel very nice.
Yes, I feel validated. I think food does taste sweeter when you eat it with your hands. Nairobi is a really modern, cosmopolitan city, and it's really international, and we're at an event right now that really illustrates that. There's an electronic DJ, a lot of posh, hip young people, and it's at an absolutely beautiful venue overlooking Nairobi National Park.
It's hard to believe that an event like this can exist in the same city as a neighborhood like Kibera. But then again, Nairobi is a city that defies easy categorization. Rich and poor, modern and traditional, skyscrapers and slums. Completely different worlds side by side. And we were lucky to be able to discover just a little bit of it.